Hey, good morning, rock stars. How are you on this Monday morning? I am back in the 317 after a crazy week last week that was so fun. New York for 3 days to see a concert that I'd wanted to see for quite some time. And then LA this week to watch Jessie and her show choir compete out at Los Alamitos High School in Los Alamitos, California. So super fun week. Got to share it with Josie as well. I wish that she was in Orlando dancing, but because she's not, she has to travel with me as we await the second surgery next week. So it was fun to share some of these experiences with her, with Jenna, who met us in New York, to watch Josie this weekend. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. None of this, not one bit of this past week is possible without Beachbody. And I wish that I could hashtag thank you Beachbody, but I don't want to get in trouble with legal. But I want to share it with you that there's not one bit of this past week that is possible without this team, this community, this tribe, this opportunity. There's just not one bit of it. And it goes so far beyond the financial piece of it. And really, the heart of why it's possible is because Beachbody has given me hope. And there's hope to create this life that we want to create. And there's hope that we can do these cool activities and events with our children. There's just hope that we are in the driver's seat of our life and not just riding along and wishing that life would be better. There's hope and there's action behind that hope. And to be able to go to New York and LA in literally the span of 7 days is, when I think about where we were 10 years ago and where we are now, it's just really cool. It's a little bit surreal, but yet I know the hard work and the never quit attitude that has gone into, to that. So it's not some sort of overnight success, but there's not 1 second of any day, and especially this past week, but there's not 1 second of any day that doesn't go by for which I'm not grateful in so many ways for this business, for this team, for this opportunity. So it's changed our lives in every single way possible and can do the same for you. I know that it's done the same for so many of you. Sometimes we get caught up in the Success Club points and the rank and the leadership and the comparison game and all of that. And the heart of what this business does is it changes our lives. So this week was such a tangible reminder to that, and to be able to share that with Josie and to show her Beachbody headquarters. I think the coolest part for Josie was seeing that wall that Carl Deichler walks in every morning and writes those quotes and writes those concepts and writes those pieces of the business and of life that he wants to, that is in his head. To be able for Josie, and me too, I've never seen that. I've never seen that wall in person. He shared some of that with us on cab and just personally, before, but I've never seen that wall in person. And to see the tangible pieces of what he does when he walks from the parking lot to his office, from his office to the parking lot, what's in his head. I mean, how can you not align yourself with the mission that this company brings to the table? Because there cannot be a more passionate CEO on the planet, someone who's so concerned and fired up and aligned with making a difference. It was really cool. It was really cool for me to see that. It was really cool for Josie to see that. And, a few years ago on the Success Club trip, I was able to take Jessie. I think she was maybe still in middle school, and we did the Disney trip. And it was a Success Club trip. And that was a real game changer for Jessie. She's the only one that's ever been on a Success Club trip. And of course, the fact that it was Disney was huge because she really got how big it was that Beachbody could make the fireworks have the Beachbody logo on them, or that we could have dinner on the Indiana Jones set. So that was a game changer for Jessie. And I think that while taking a tour of Beachbody headquarters is certainly not on the scale of taking a Success Club trip, for Josie, I think it was a game changer. It was a real tangible reminder of what we do every day and how it's creating a legacy and how it's changing our lives. And she knows, and all my girls know, that there's nothing really that we do now that isn't possible because of Beachbody. Everything they do is possible because of this business, and the hope that this business and this community, this tribe, this opportunity brings into our lives. It's, it's just, gosh, who could ever leave? Who could quit? Why would anyone stop working this business when if you just stay in it, your life completely changes. I mean, it's not like any of this is an overnight success. It's not like 10 years ago I could do New York and LA in 1 week. I couldn't do that 10 years ago. I freaking couldn't do that 5 years ago. Staying in this business is everything. It's everything. And when we know that everything about it changes our lives for the better, who would ever leave? Who would ever leave? Who would ever go do something else? Who would ever just stop? Because certainly your life is better because of this business and everything about it. So why would you go anywhere else? You know, why would you go anywhere else? I'm always so amazed at the coaches who just, they just stop working. And who knows what success was just on the other side of them stopping at that moment. Why give up? Why give up? I think that the Olympics just happening last month are the perfect reminder of that too, because you don't think that there were days that those athletes wanted to give up. I watched Lindsey Vonn, and we have a little bit of a personal connection with Lindsey. One of our very good friends was in a relationship with Lindsey for a year and a half, and we hope that they're going to get back together. So, we have a little bit of a connection with her, and knowing her story, you don't think that there was a day, many days, especially after that accident, that she just didn't want to give up. Of course there was. And yet she didn't. And that's how she gets to stand on those podiums now and set those records and win those medals, because she just didn't give up. And I think that's the biggest piece in this business. It's just the not giving up. It's just like fitness. It's anything. You want success in anything, it's a choice, and you create it. So let's dig into a couple pieces that I want to talk to you about, because I was sharing so many pictures from LA and being at Disneyland. Now, here's what's funny. So Jesse's show choir competed in Los Alamitos High School, and the high school was about, I don't know, I think it was like 15-ish minutes from Disneyland. So most of the parents, stayed that went. I did not chaperone. I just went so that I could watch her. I did that chaperone thing with the New York trip in January. I'm like, I'm not chaperoning again. I'm just going to go and support and be there, but I don't need to chaperone. So most of the parents, I think, stayed over by Los Alamitos High School. I don't know, like in a Marriott Courtyard or whatever, which is totally fine. Except I'm like, dude, we're 15 minutes from Disneyland. We're staying at Disneyland Hotel. Hello. So that's where Josie and I stayed, and that gave me an opportunity to, of course, take some pictures to share with you and share some pictures about the Diamonds Disney trip in September, because we're staying at the Grand Californian Hotel, which is the other hotel connected on property. So I wanted to make sure I took some pictures of that. So let's talk about that trip for a moment. Since I was sharing so many pictures, I want to make sure that everyone's on the same page. I know we're 2.5 months into the new year, and we still have some questions about it. And I want to make this trip access. So if a coach signs up on our signs up underneath me in May and crushes these sort of qualifications for this trip, I want it accessible to everyone. I don't want someone to go, well, I wasn't a coach in January, so I'm out. No, that's not the case whatsoever. So the deal is to be able to go to Diamonds to Disney. A little context behind this trip. We did the trip in 2015 to celebrate becoming a superstar diamond team. We did the trip in 2016. We took a year off in 2017, went to see Hamilton instead, but we're back. And the cool part about it, I hope that you saw this picture that I shared. When we were there in 15, was it 15 or 16? I can't remember which one it was. It feels like it was 2015 or 16. You guys will have to remind me. And we went to dinner at Carthay Circle, which is a really cool restaurant in California Adventure. One of the parks, there's 2 parks, Disneyland and California Adventure. We went to dinner at Carthay Circle, beautiful, beautiful restaurant. And the marquee outside Carthay Circle said Diamond Celebration. And I'm like, what, did they know we were coming? What's happening here? So we all took our picture underneath the sign. It was super cool. Well, the marquee I just took it on Saturday, which is so funny. You think like you just took this picture on Saturday. You were standing in sunny California on Saturday, and here I am back at Indy on Monday. And the marquee on Saturday said, "An icon returns." And I looked at Josie, I'm like, oh my gosh, like we're coming back, and they know it. And, icon's kind of a funny word, like you're all that. And that's not what it is. But I do think an icon is, someone who's got, experience and has longevity, has stuck it out. And I think that is our team. So the marquee underneath Carthay circles an icon returns. I thought that was pretty cool. So as I was sharing those pictures, I was getting some questions about, the Diamonds to Disney trip. And the Diamonds to Disney trip is a celebration/recognition trip. It is not a vacation courtesy of Julie Forrest. I wish that I could take all of you on vacation on my tab. I really wish that I could. But the Diamonds to Disney trip is a celebration/recognition trip. And I worked to really align it with how Beachbody corporate sets up their trips as well. So I didn't want to have these random qualifications or something that didn't make any sense. I really worked to align it with how Beachbody corporate sets up our trips so that our trip really, parallels what Beachbody corporate would do, what you would expect from a Success Club leadership trip or from the New Leader Conference or whatever, so that our trip sort of parallels that. So there are some qualifications. There's a lot that I take care of, and then there are some pieces that each coach that qualifies has to take care of, which is exactly the same as any other Beachbody trip. So again, I wanted to make sure that our trip paralleled that. But the Diamonds to Disney 2018 trip is a celebration/recognition trip for any coach who, number one, hits Success Club every single month that they are a coach, period. That is absolutely non-negotiable. That is a piece that allows someone who becomes my coach in May to crush Success Club in May and June. And they've nailed that piece. They couldn't have achieved Success Club in January. They weren't even a coach then. So number one, you have to achieve Success Club every single month. You are a coach through June, period. That's not even negotiable. Because if you're not hitting Success Club, you're not inviting to the business. If you're not inviting to the business, as Keisha Fitzgerald reminded us at our team event, if you're not inviting, you're not helping people. You're not connecting people with solutions that work. So if you're not hitting Success Club, you're not working the business. That's your choice, but you don't get to go on a celebration recognition trip if you're not working the business, right? I mean, that makes sense, right? Okay, so that's number one. Number two, you have to be a diamond by June 21st. That is the Thursday of opening day at Summit. You have to be a diamond by June 21st, and you have to hold it. I have to turn in the names at the end of August to Disneyland. Okay, so I'm working with not just, qualifications for our team, but I'm working with a business that needs names. So I have to turn in the names of who's going on this trip at the end of August. So you have to hit diamond by June 21st and you have to hold it till I turn those names in, period. Because if you're not holding it, you don't get to go on a celebration reward trip, right? I mean, these pieces make sense. Yes, they make sense. So you got to hit it by June 21st. You got to hold it, period. Okay, so Success Club, diamond by June 21st, hold it. Now, the other piece that I'm getting all kinds of questions on is you need to add 2 coaches a month. Now, let's dissect that. Let's unpack that just for a minute. If we aren't adding coaches to our team, we don't have a team to celebrate and recognize. So thus, there is no trip. So we have to be adding coaches. But I also understand sometimes, and the question that just got asked to me this week, what if I only added 1 coach in February, but I added 6 in March? The point is, you need to add between 12 and 15 coaches to your team by June 15th, period. 12 and 15 coaches by June 15th. If you freaking add all of them in May, then I guess you add all of them in May. But also, I'm not tracking that. You have to track that because we're all grown-ups here. And you have to be in that tracking sheet, tracking who and how many you've added to your team in order to go on the trip. I'm not going back to January to see how many and to cross-reference. This is not elementary school. You have to track. If you miss a month and you don't track, you might not get to go on the trip if you met all the other qualifications because I'm not going back to January and tracking. That makes sense, yes? Like we're all grown-ups. We're all CEOs of our business. So if we want to go on a celebration and recognition trip, I figure we'll probably take the time to track. If we don't really care about going, then maybe we won't track. I don't know. But that's going to be up to you. So you have to hit Success Club every single month. Period. That's non-negotiable. You have to be a diamond and you have to hold it. Period. That's non-negotiable. Because remember, I have to turn in the names by August. And then you've got to add between 12 and 15 coaches by June 15th. If you're not adding coaches, your team's not growing, you're not hitting diamond, you're not hitting Success Club, you don't get to go on a celebration reward trip. And my friends, the coaches that have gone on our celebration reward trips, that have gone to Disney, will tell you, we do not play around. We have an amazing time. The experiences, the memories, I mean, it's amazing. So, and I think Ophelia is on here. I think Julie is on here. You guys can throw in a comment. You both have been on the trips. You know what they're like. You know that we don't play around. Like, we go, and it's awesome. And there's just memories to be made that can't be made on a Zoom call, that can't be made at an event right here. There's something very powerful about taking your tribe out of the sort of normal life. Even when we went to Hamilton last year and we just were gone for the day. Yeah, Rihanna, that's a really great point. And but even when we went to Hamilton and we were just gone for the day, that piece of coming out of our normal daily life and doing something that's just us, that we earned, that is so huge. That feeling of knowing that when you walk into Disneyland, when you walk in with these fierce females, when you walk in there and you earned your way there, that is huge. It's every bit as huge as walking across the stage at Summit. It's a big deal. Because it's a big deal, there have to be qualifications in place, right? That makes sense. So now I think we're all on the same page now, I hope. With the qualifications, you got to track. You got to keep track of all that stuff. You have to do that, not me, because on this end, I'm working with Disneyland and I'm starting to plan and I'm writing checks and I'm doing stuff on this end. So you've got to be tracking on your end too. So just like corporate, I've aligned the pieces of the trip with sort of how Beachbody does it too. I take care of your hotel. So you're going to go stay at the Grand Californian on Disneyland property in Anaheim, California. I'm taking care of your hotel. I'm taking care of your park tickets, and I'm taking care of a couple meals, one of which will be a really nice dinner someplace. Like we ate at Carthay Circle. We've eaten at the Grotto, kind of underneath the water the first time. And we all had drinks with light up cubes in them. And it was so awesome. So I take care of lodging. I take care of park tickets. I take care of a couple meals. You are responsible for flights out there, and that gives you the opportunity to both earn miles if you're a mileage kind of person. I know, because I always fly Delta, so I want my miles. I like to book myself. It also gives you the opportunity to book your flight according to your family's needs. So if you need to get out there later or a lot of times coaches will even stay later. So I know like Laura and Sandra and I think Jama last year, I don't know who else, but you'll add on a couple days either before or after. And because you're going to California, you make it a little bit longer. Well, that's awesome. So you make your plane tickets. That's on you. That lets you go as cheap as you want. And, you'll have to have money for some of your meals and then anything you want to spend. And then as we get into it, we're going to talk about more. Do we want to take a trip to Beachbody headquarters and how do we want to work out those logistics and things like that? So there's some possibilities for some other stuff that we can all contribute to, but I've got your lodging, I've got your park tickets, and I've got a couple meals. You've got flights and like souvenirs and stuff like that. It's a sweet deal, but you got to do the work to get there and you got to meet the qualifications to get there. And any coach that's been on these trips know I don't play around. We go first class and it's awesome. The memories that we create are incredible. So this month is month 3 of 2018. So while it's not a Disney trip, those of you that have hit Success Club in January and February, and when you hit it in March, I've got a really sweet shirt coming your way. I emailed that out, I think last week or the week before, but I'm going to do it again. I'm getting ready to do another daily email. So I've got a really sweet shirt that's coming for you once you've hit Success Club January, February, March, and that should mean those folks are on track for that Diamonds to Disney trip. But you got to get coaches on your team, my friends. If you're not growing your team and you're not advancing to Diamond, you can't go on the trip. Diamond is a choice. Just ask the 5 coaches that have achieved Diamond in the past 5 months. They made a decision. They made every action that they took around that decision to achieve that goal, and then they hit it. Kristen added 5 coaches in 2 days. Melissa said, I'm going to hit diamond by the end of March. Well, she hit it last week, so far before the end of March. It's a decision. You either get in your way or you get out of your way. Success is a choice. Diamond is a decision. You have to achieve Success Club. You have to be diamond. You have to be adding coaches on your team. And when you do, you get to go to Disney. Hold on. Wait a second. I'm going to give you even more incentive. Hold, please. And when you go, you get ears. So not only do you get to stay at the Grand Californian, you get to go to the parks, which is awesome. You get amazing dinner, but you'll get some ears. I mean, who doesn't want rose gold Mickey ears? So this trip should be on every single coach's goal. If it's not, I'm sorry for you, because it's awesome. Why would you not want to do this? Why would you not want to go to Disney with some of the coolest people on the planet? That's just silly to me. I don't get that. But before we get to Disney, we got to hit Success Club in March, and April 8th, we've got Super Sunday, 2 to 5 p.m. That's a place where you're going to learn the tools that are coming out of Beachbody to help you succeed. We've got new programs. We've got the 2B Mindset coming out. We've got Joel's new program, which they're calling Maverick because it doesn't have a name. We're all like, just call it Joel's new program. We all know that it's Joel's new program. But we've got all these amazing tools coming out of corporate to help us succeed, to help us connect more people with these tools. You got to get to Super Sunday so you learn more about it. We got Michael Neiman coming in. He's specifically going to talk about sort of the flywheel of Beachbody and how these programs roll out. He's going to talk about how Beachbody on Demand is changing a little bit with that VIP unlock. So we're going to have him talking about that. We're going to do some Instagram training. We're going to do a live workout. It's going to be awesome. It's 3 hours on a Sunday. Show up and bring your teams, you guys. There's nothing like being at a live event. Please, please, let's not become that Zoom culture team that I see so many other teams becoming. This team was built on showing up. We've said it for years. Sparta Nation shows up. This team was built on that. We've showed up since the beginning. We continue to show up. It's why we're going to celebrate our 10-year anniversary in June. Thank you, Beachbody, for coming to our town to throw us a big 10-year anniversary party. Really appreciate that. So that's why we're still around, because we continue to show up. You've got to get to Super Sunday. You got to get to every team event. Continue to show up. It's just going to help you build your business, help you connect more people with solutions at work, help you change a lot of lives, including the lives of your family, help you achieve the goals that you want to achieve. Maybe you don't want to go to New York and LA in a week, but maybe you want to do something else. Well, guess what? Hashtag thank you, Beachbody. It will help you achieve any goal that you want. Maybe you don't want to travel a lot. Maybe you're just trying to you want to start a college fund. You want to start a wedding fund. I should probably start that with 3 girls. Whatever your goals are, it doesn't matter. Beachbody can help you do that. So insert the New York and LA, put your dreams in there and start saying that. But if you don't show up every single day, it's not going to happen. Show up at Super Saturday. Show up for your challengers. Show up for your team. Show up for your family, because they deserve it, and so do you. You deserve to create the life that you want to create, and this business can help you do that. So I think we're good on the Diamonds to Disney trip. If you have any questions whatsoever about it, just email me. I am here to answer any of those. I don't want anyone to get to the place where like, dude, I thought I had qualified and you hadn't. I want everyone to know where they are. You have to track. I'm not doing that. I'm doing other stuff to arrange the trip. You have to track. We're grown-ups here. I'm not going to remind you all the time. You got to do it. If you want to go, you'll do it. If you want to wear rose gold ears, you'll make sure you track. Who wouldn't want to go to Disney, courtesy of me? I mean, seriously, you guys, it's crazy. It's so awesome. And it's funny because when we started this team years ago, and Ophelia reminded me of this, in 2015, we started the team, 10 years ago. I remember saying, and I must have said it to you, Ophelia, I said, when we hit a big goal, and I don't even know if we knew what that big goal was at the time, because I don't even know if when we started, if Superstar Diamond Team even existed. But I said, when we hit a big goal, I'm taking this team to Disney. And I'm pretty sure no one believed me. I'm pretty sure everyone thought I was full of shit. And then we hit a big goal, and I took those coaches to Disney. And then everyone else was like, oh shit, she was for real. Heck yes, I'm for real. Hard work and showing up should be rewarded. I'm not playing around. Hard work and showing up and people that stay in the business should be rewarded. Period. So if you show up, you do the work, you hit the qualifications, I'm taking you to Disney. I've done it twice. There should be no one on the team that doubts this. It will happen. I hope you are on that trip because I want to buy you some rose gold ears. All right. Any questions? Let me know. I'll see you all on our call with the To Be Mindset Creator this week and at Super Sunday. All right. Have a great day. Let's make it a great week.